You found it. By the end of this video, I guarantee you will know how to generate a consistent stream of new leads for your business so you never struggle to generate more clients ever again. Now, a majority of the people watching this are going to think, well, that's really, really helpful, but you're not actually going to implement anything I say, so you're going to stay in the same position you are now. This is just like a little holiday for you. But the 1 to 5% who do implement it, I cannot stress enough, I guarantee this is going to make a change to your business. And no matter where you are or no matter where you end up, if you're in a situation whereby you need more clients, you will know the process that has to be followed to acquire those clients. If you need to grow, you will know the process you have to implement. And for those of you who stick around to the end, I have something that's not only going to help you make this easier, it's also going to save you time in the implementation of everything. But again, that's for people who make it to the end, so that 1 to 5%, which I hope is you. So first off, before we do anything, we need to clarify our offer or value proposition. This is so that our target market can clearly and easily understand what it is we do. And they can also understand the value they are going to get from our service or our product. The simplest structure for defining this is by saying we help X, that would be your target audience as they describe themselves, achieve Y in Z time period, and then brackets, without something they hate doing. If you follow that structure and you fill in the gaps, you will have an offer that clearly explains what you do, who you do it for, and the pains that are avoided by using that service. As an example, our offer is we help SaaS and tech companies explode their rate of growth within the next 30 days without them having to waste endless amounts of time trying to figure out the most efficient advertising method. Now, confusion is a huge issue when it comes to lead generation. If someone doesn't fundamentally understand what it is you do, the chance of them inquiring to use your services is very close to zero. So by using this simple statement, we just summarize everything that's required. Now that we have our offer, we need a hook, and that's something that's going to get someone to actually open up the conversation with us. This varies between service-based business and product-based businesses, but fundamentally the principle is the same. We are going to give upfront value to someone to bring them into us so that we can potentially turn them into a customer. For service-based businesses, a hook is usually something like a free consultation session. For product-based companies, a hook is usually a discount code or voucher or giving an additional item for free upon checkout. Now at this point, we have our offer. That's essentially the value we're going to provide someone over the lifetime of them using our service. And we have the hook, and that's initially how we get them to open up a conversation with us. Now, if you have a really irresistible offer and hook on the front end, that's something that very clearly explains what you do and makes people want to get in contact with you because the amount of value they're being given is so great and it addresses such a large pain point, then you already will not struggle to get leads. That alone can do most of the heavy lifting. So just make sure when you're coming up with your offer and your hook, it's something that people desperately want and it's a no-brainer. I have entire other videos on this on the channel, so if you want more information, make sure you subscribe. Next up, we need to find where our target audience congregates. Do they spend most of their spare time on Facebook or Instagram? Do they go on forums? Do they search for our service regularly on Google? Do they hang out on LinkedIn? Are they on Reddit all the time? We can easily find out where there are pools of our target audience. Now that we know where our target audience congregates, we're going to manually go to those places and present them with our offer and our hook. So for example, if you found certain Facebook groups where your target audience congregate, we can go into those Facebook groups, we can open up conversations with our potential prospects, and then once we know that they have the problem we resolve, we can send them a DM, presenting them with our offer. So for example, if we know people hang out on LinkedIn, we can go to LinkedIn and use manual outreach methods to put our hook in front of those people to start generating inquiries. This alone is a huge in-depth topic that I could spend hours talking about, and we have, again, other videos on the channel going into more depth. I just want to give you the overall strategy so you understand it. But essentially what you are doing is you are manually taking your time to go to your target audience and present them with your offer and your hook. Now, all of this is purely based on volume. If you're reaching out to 1 or 2 people and finding it doesn't work and giving up, that's not a surprise. If you reach out to 1,000 people and it's not working, then something's fundamentally broken in the way you're executing that outreach. But just be aware that it is volume, and that's just how the game is played. Now, before I reveal the next steps of the process where you start to automate this process and it becomes a little bit easier and more scalable, if you are enjoying this video and you want to see more, including in-depth guides about all the points I've currently gone over, then if you could subscribe, like, or leave a comment, I would greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, as I say, a comment and I will get back to you personally. Anyway, let's continue with the video. Now that we've manually gone out to our target audience and spoken to them one-on-one, trying to pitch them with our hook and our offer, you might find that there's a lot of success in that and it just clicks, and you might find that there's no success in it and just won't click, it just won't work. You need to iteratively go back and slightly adjust the hook, the offer, the method of outreach so that eventually it just clicks. And it just seems like, well, this is the way. We know this is the method we need to use to acquire customers. Now, a very quick hack here, if you have other competitors in your industry and you tend to find that all of them have the same, roughly the same offer or hook, that's probably because they've all individually figured out that's the hook that works for their exact situation. It varies depending on the service you're providing and the audience you're pitching to. So you can skip a lot of the hard work just by looking at your competition and seeing what their offers and hooks look like. But once you've found that secret sauce in manual outreach, it's time to automate the process, because manual outreach ultimately takes up a lot of time and is very limited operationally by the time you can put in. So what we want to do now is we want to shift over our lead generation systems from manual outreach to paid advertising. The reason we want to do this is because paid advertising is scalable. We can simply pay more money to get more results. And because we've been through the manual process of proving the system works, we know the system works. All we need to do now is, as I say, pay the money. Because ultimately, any method of acquiring a customer costs you money. You might think, well, I'm doing manual outreach, that's just time, but ultimately your time has a monetary value attached to it. So it was already costing you money to acquire that customer. All we're doing with the adverts is just taking that away from time and putting it explicitly into money. So what we're going to do is the exact same platforms that have already worked for us. If we reached out on Facebook and found it worked consistently, that's where we're going to go to first. If we reached out on LinkedIn and found it worked consistently, that's where we're going to start, because the model's been proven in that place. And all we're going to do is we're going to promote the exact same hook or the exact same offer in a very similar methodology that we had been doing manually. We're going to run ads to our target audience as we've defined again through our manual outreach processes, and those ads are going to push people towards our hook. Now, if you do this, people will take you up on your hook because they already have been taking you up on the hook. All you need at that point is visibility of that hook. So I'll put some calculations on screen so you can figure this out, but you need to know some of your numbers. So you need to know the average order value of a customer, the lifetime average order value of a customer. You need to know your rough cost per lead. Then you need to know how many as a percentage of those leads schedule for a call, how many of those people who scheduled for a call show up, and how many of those people actually close. If you know all those numbers, and you will know that because you would have been through the process manually and then you would have paid money for those adverts, you will know exactly how much it costs to acquire a customer. Now, as long as the cost per acquisition stays below the value of a customer from the lifetime perspective, congratulations, you're in profit. You just keep scaling up that approach. Now, in a second, I'm going to go through a quick fire summary to just round everything off and sort of cement it in your head so that you can start executing on this, because it sounds very simple, and it is, but the reality is that simple actions done repetitively over a long period of time bring you the results. But before I get into that quick fire summary, I just want to let you know about the offer I have for the 1 to 5%. So if you are still watching, you are most likely in that camp. Congratulations, genuinely, it's a good place to be, and it sets you up for a lot of success. However, we have an offer, my company Tech Growth Marketing, for a free growth strategy session. This is whereby we'll go through your exact situation and figure out all the nuances required to execute on this system for you. So we'll go through your exact situation, because it varies depending on your service, your product, or the niche that you're targeting. We'll tell you the strategy that's best going to fit your exact situation, and we can also potentially help you execute that. We have paid for courses, we have services whereby we set everything up for you and teach you how to do it yourself, or we can run all of this for you with guaranteed results or your money back. This is only applicable to companies that are established and looking to scale up. So you need to be able to spend at least $3,000 to $5,000 per month on acquiring new customers, obviously knowing that you're going to get that money back, but you need to be able to take that risk up front. And if you can, if that is you and you're just looking to scale and you want someone to do it for you who does it regularly and knows what they're doing, you can get in contact with us via a link in the description below. Anyway, here's the quickfire summary. How to generate more leads for your business. Firstly, come up with a value statement that clearly explains what it is you do so you can eliminate any confusion from the buying process. Next, you need a hook. For product-led businesses, this is usually a discount voucher or a free item. For service-based businesses, this is usually some sort of free consultation. It should provide upfront value to attract people to you. Next, find out where your target audience congregates. Then go to those places of congregation and present your target audience with your hook and offer. If the hook and offer are good enough, you will start to generate leads with relative ease. Then once you've improved on that system and find it consistently works, you take that exact system and plug it into paid advertising. You run those adverts in the exact locations that have already worked for your manual outreach. Then once you have enough data, you simply calculate the cost required to acquire a customer and the lifetime value of that customer. Provided you make more money than you spend to acquire the customer, congratulations, keep spending more money. And that very simply is how to generate more leads for your business. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, and I say you can leave a like or subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want to take us up on that offer for a free growth strategy session, you can do so via a link in the description below. I'll speak to you soon.